But it works with our students because that's the way they are brought up from when they are little.
Right.
Right from the kindergarten.
Right.
And is it really our primary schools that is doing the good job, or is it the fact that almost all of our kids go to daycare, which is also standardized? It's really a tiny amount of it is private kindergartens. So they are the city-owned kindergartens.
So it's
which
a system.
follow the same plan. Yeah, there is a system, there is a curriculum, there is a plan of personalized study path right when you are 1 year old if you go there when you are one.
And in the daycare.
Yeah, in the daycare.
So in the daycare, they're not only teaching play skills, but they're teaching play skills where they're learning things too. It's not just babysitting. There's
no, it's not babysitting. That's
right.
just the point. What we try to prove, that daycare ain't babysitting.
Right.
But it's pre-education.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I had always heard the Finnish system that started primary in 7 years old, but there's a lot of back education before that, building before they get there, right?
That's
so they
right.
have a lot of skills coming in.
Even though it's not compulsory now, it's compulsory from the when you're 6.
To go start in
to the daycare.
primary.
No, not to the primary, pre-primary.
Pre-primary.
Yeah.
So, at what age the parents here can get daycare starting at 1 year old?
Yeah, or even less. Yeah.
Wow. And is that all day or?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, if it's not a private kindergarten, public kindergarten, it's maximum of 200 and I might say wrong, but around 280 euros per month for the whole day.
For the whole day, which very
with
little.
the meals
Right.
included.
Right. And is that if you're super poor, you would still pay that too?
No.
No.
If you're super poor, it's 0.
0. Wow.
Because we want to encourage, also because it's a part. We see the education as being part of the way of diminish segregation in the society. So it's really the tool to handle that all our kids get the same education, have the same abilities, have the same opportunities.
Right. But you're basically for lack of a better word, it would be like a homogeneous society, pretty much, with not a lot of immigrants?
A growing number. And if you, if we go around a bit...
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing some,
Yeah, there is a lot in vocational training.
Okay.
And after 2015, we do in the Helsinki region, we do have quite a lot of immigrants, and especially in the vocational training. So we have some courses where the majority are immigrants, and might be lacking the Finnish language knowledge, might be almost illiterate. So there are changes, but that's why we have been trying to change our educational system as well. So we have to think about the whole system and how, because it has always been the idea that everyone follows the same educational path right when they are babies till the end.
Right.
And now we have incomers from different steps. So something has to change also in the educational system, because we can't count anymore that everybody has been on the same path.
As part of the EU, like if somebody from Ireland wanted to move here, they could? Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of undocumented immigration in the U.S., of course. Here, is there?
I would say not a lot, but a growing number. Because we did get quite a few refugees from Iraq, especially Iraq.
Did they just show up on the door, or they came in through the government?
They did come through the government.
Right.
But when they were refused on staying, they didn't leave the country. So
they're here now.
They are here now.
Okay, so then what you're telling me is that there's, even if you're not a Finnish citizen, you still have a right to the educational system here.
Yeah,
right?
if you have a private permanent residence, is the permanent resident.
Before we get to
Right to the permanent residence, then you can attend the education. Yeah.
Before we get up to the college here, just so I understand it, because I did some reading, but so you have the daycare up to about 7.
Yeah.
You would call that kindergarten?
Yeah, or daycare.
Daycare?
Yeah.
Then primary school starts at around 7 years old?
Yeah, I have a slide of it,
perfect,
so
perfect.
then it might be easier.
And by the way, in this school, what are the ages here?
From 16 till 68.
But the majority are you have 2 schools here, right? One for the high school, or do they mix?
No, it's a vocational.
Do the adults mix with the 16-year-olds?
To a growing extent, yes. The whole vocational education is under a big reform at the moment.
Okay.
So we used to have the youth sector separately, and they followed a so-called curriculum-based education. And then we had the adult education that was competence-based education, and it worked separately.
Okay.
But with the new legislation starting from January, they are all under the same legislation. There are no longer 2 ways of completing the studies.
Right.
But everything is based on the competencies, and they get the recognition of the past learning.
What percentage of the kids in high school, would they call it here, go to vocational school?
Oh, at what age?
No, what percentage? Is it it's a large?
Half.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a negative stigma here, or it kind of does, or what?
Well, it's still in a way seen as a second option. But as it gives you the same rights to apply to universities, and it's not a dead end, it has had a positive impact on its image. And for some years it actually was that more students attended a vocational education rather than the general upper secondary education.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we'll watch your video. I think you'll probably, a lot of probably what I'm asking is going to be.
So we are a city-owned college, but this is the Finnish system.
So real quick, so all vocational schools are called colleges?
Well, they can be called quite a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah, we use that name.
Okay.
Yeah. So really, we see that there is a stage of early childhood education and care. So that's from the 1-year-olds till 6-year-olds. Then there is a pre-primary education that is compulsory now for the 6-year-olds. But normally the pre-primary education is still given at the daycare centers.
Okay.
It's not at school.
Okay, and it's full day normally?
It's half of the day is pre-primary education and the half day is the normal daycare. But it's in the same facilities. So the kids at that stage don't normally go to the school to attend it.
Now,
they are in the daycare centers.
In the pre-primary, are those credentialed teachers, like fully university teachers? Like?
Yeah, every 4th staff member from in any of the daycare, pre-primary and early childhood education has to have a university degree.
Are they all paid, for example, with early childhood, they're grossly underpaid minimum wage jobs in the U.S.?
They are more than minimum wage, but
they don't make what a basic education teacher would make.
No, okay. They don't. No.
But it's livable wage, would you say?
Well, you can't live with that wage in Helsinki.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can, but...
But it's a university degree.
Yeah. Every 4th staff member has a university degree, and the one that gives the pre-primary education has to have an upper university degree, a master's degree.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So, yeah. And, so then the basic education is in the comprehensive schools. So that's where the good PISA results come from. And all teachers do have the master's degree in Finland, so that is one point.
Really?
Yeah.